In this episode of Hitchhikers and Appetizers, our guest is a galactic cosmetologist from the planet Balayage, who brings with her discreet gossip from her elite clientele.
Her name is Tresemmina, and she specializes in hair, fur, feathers, exoskeletons, and tentacles.
So roll up your towel into a pillow, lean back, and
prepare to learn why she never has to buy a Father's Day card.
Shut up and sit down.
welcome back to Hitchhikers and Appetizers and Booth 42. I am your host, Trellis Gardeen, and with me, as always, is the 4 to my 2, the don't to my panic, Horatio Zinn.
Yes, here I am, Horatio Zinn, saying my name, even though it's already been said before. We're here at Booth 42 again, and
often not in a positive manner either.
No, often I hear my name said angrily, or in disappointment.
Or disbelief.
Often I say it to myself like that, because I'm disappointed.
Because someone hasn't said it in that way to you in a while, you just need a refresher.
Yes, I have to remind myself that I am not a god. Or am I?
Well, as we found out recently, we are gods in the next universe to come.
Yes, that's true. But
So if you're listening, new universe, forget everything we just said. But remember, we're your gods.
We are gods, fear us, or respect us.
But regardless, yes, we have a guest with us in the booth.
To make sure I'm saying your name correctly, Tresemmina.
It is Tresemmina. Thank you. It's a difficult word to say. I understand.
Tresemmina, welcome to the booth.
It can be a verb, a noun, an adjective. It can be used in any way. So please do.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
I'm sure as an adjective it means something wonderful.
Of course it does. Of course.
Is it a family name?
Well, it is a family name in that our species is not like normal species.
Oh.
My mother ate my father shortly after not right away, but shortly after my pubescent worm state. And I'm also my own grandmother. So it's a complicated thing, but Tresemmina has been passed down through the eons, and I am lucky to be a recipient of the name.
Were you able to bond at all with your father before he was eaten?
Well, I was physically bond, but that's a slime that comes off eventually. You sort of shed it off, yeah.
More of a shared slime.
Exactly.
So you've taken a little bit of him with you.
Well, I have no choice, sure. I feel like it's a part of the patriarchy of sort of his way of controlling me, if I'm being honest. But I fight the good fight every day, and a little more of him sheds off until the day that I get to eat my own spouse.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Something to look forward to for certain.
Absolutely. It is every girl's dream.
I was going to say every worm's dream is to eventually slough off her father's slime and eat her future husband on your planet.
That is right.
Oh. Now, is that something that warrants a party on your planet? Something, like birthdays or unions?
Well, sure. I mean, we have our, daily 2 p.m. party, so you can always roll it in and combine it with that. But occasionally there are specialty parties. We do not believe in unions because everybody is one, so there is no need to collectively, separately be one. But, I guess you're used to having union parties, which sounds fun.
Oh, they are. Oh, very much so.
Yeah, oftentimes it's worth it just to bond mate with someone you don't care for just for the party.
Oh, bond mating is absolutely. We just, like I said, we just have a daily 2 p.m. party, and it's kind of like a siesta, but the opposite.
Oh, you're awake for it.
Exactly. But my eyes are closed the whole time. At least 6 of them are.
Only 6?
Yeah, not all.
The others open just to keep watch?
We don't want to fall off.
Are the same eyes closed every time, or do they get to take turns? So at least some of the eyes get to enjoy the party every once in a while.
Oh, well, there are some that are permanently closed until, of course, I graduate to the next level.
Ah.
Oh, graduate to the next level? Level of what?
Oh, sorry. Well, you have to understand that on my planet, Balayage, we We have various levels. I am currently the youngest in my position as in the 4th quadrant as a lead style. I don't think you even know about my job, do you?
We were definitely wanting to get to that. What?
You're almost a nearly blank slate to us, so please fill it in. Fill it in.
Oh, I was a blank slate when I was born, you silly thing, over 200 eons ago. See, now I am originally from the dwarf planet of Medroth, but we moved to Payloft after my mother ate my father. And then eventually, when I graduated from my pubescent worm state, I moved to the planet Mullet, which, it started out good, but it ended in total disaster.
I can understand.
Fun, but a disaster, absolutely. There, I studied for 9 eons, and I eventually received my Class A Galactical Cosmology, Cosmetology, Cosmonaut license. So now, even though I live on Balayage, my new position as the 4th Quadrant Galaxy Lead Stylist means that I travel all over the solar system.
Fascinating. You have lived a full life already.
I am the youngest being to hold this ambassadorship, so thank you.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. Wonderful.
Now, are you brought in by the royalty, the elites, the upper crust of the universe to, I guess, make them look wonderful and beautiful?
Like I said, an international cosmology, cosmetologist, cosmonaut, but I'm also known as a hair, fur, feather, scale, ectoskeleton, tentacle stylist. Basically, we play a special role in making sure that the universe looks beautiful. There are some species that, if they don't have a well-trimmed fringe, they will explode.
Oh, my.
Yes, our job is very important, even though it looks like just a fluffy beauty profession. It's not. It is important to this universe.
It does sound, if you can keep someone from exploding, that is very important.
That excess hair sounds like it's really just mini fuses to one gigantic bomb, and if it's not kept trim.
Exactly. Well, that is why you have to have ambassadors over the various quadrants, or otherwise, there could be explosions left and right, and we would all cease to exist.
We wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. I enjoy existing.
Yes, most of us do. Especially when it's 2 p.m. party time.
Yes, of course. Be revived for that.
Sometimes I just feel like I've exploded after too many parties, but
Well, sure, that's a little bit different. See, the thing is, when people are sitting in and by people, I mean species and creatures and cloud thoughts, when they are sitting in my stylist chair, you may think, oh, well, isn't this fun? They're trying to look more beautiful, but it's such an intimate position. People tell you all sorts of things.
I was going to ask, do you have any good gossip to pass on to us?
I shouldn't. I shouldn't, and I don't want to take away any of my clients' trust. But I will say there are a few kings and queens who I have met who I've heard of torrid affairs.
Oh, those are the best kind, I find.
Those are right. I mean, nobody wants an untorrid affair.
No.
If it wasn't going to be torrid, why even bother?
Exactly. So, I've had many people, I'm sitting there just trimming their tentacles saying, I think I'm going to cheat on my significant other, and then poof, they're gone, and they go cheat and come right back because they can shoot through time like that.
They want to fix the messed up hair from the affair so they can go back home looking normal.
Oh.
Exactly. It's a little bit of, there's a little consciousness there where I have to decide, am I enabling this? But when it really comes down to it, I have to look at the oath that I made, which is to keep the universe safe by providing good styles.
I think that's very responsible. I respect that. I'm not sure I would be able to uphold such an oath.
You can barely hold up yourself,
Yes.
Horatio. So no, I don't see you.
Well, I mean, with a quick tail trim, I might be able to help you with that. It may just be a balance issue.
Oh, that's something to consider.
We obviously can't do it in here. That would not be a sanitary situation.
Not at all. Not at all. Do you have a brochure or something you can leave behind?
Oh, sure. Here, wait. Let me just, I will pass it forward into your mind, and there you go.
Oh, my. Oh, lovely illustrations. Very.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank
it's
you.
like I'm in a virtual spa right now.
Well, I did hire somebody. It is a tax write-off in at least 3 of the 4 quadrants. So, it is worth investing in yourself for your business.
It is. It's very impressive. It's very impressive. I'm so sorry you can't see it, Trellis.
That's okay. I'll take your word for it, unless you want to transfer it over to me eventually at some point.
It's a 1 transfer only. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll describe all its wonders.
I'm going to assume you transferred it to the one of us who needs it the most.
Me.
You can assume that, sure.
I can assume
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
I will.
sure. If that makes you feel better, please do.
I feel better already. Now, you mentioned the 4th quadrant. Which of the 4 quadrants would you say has had the most interesting stories? Which ones are, or in the most need of your services?
Oh, well, that's 2 very different questions there, The first quadrant, the Galaxy Quadrant,
Yes.
which is, a redundancy in name, I know, the Galaxy First Quadrant Galaxy, but it is what it is. That place, at one point, they were known for their shags. They were known for their short on the top, long on the bottom, not quite into the full mullets look, but
Yes.
definitely the shag look.
Mm-hmm.
And they went on this thing. I don't know why. I don't know how it got started, but where they all thought, hey, we can do this ourselves. And many of them brought their own shears and lasers and meteoritic space rocks and would cut their own fur, their own tentacles. And I'm telling you, not only did it put me at risk of having no job, but they looked terrible doing it.
I wonder if any explosions occurred because of this.
But we don't have official facts on it, but reports are saying that there definitely were some explosions that they, of course, were saying were from uranium, but I know the difference.
Always the scapegoat, uranium.
Yes.
Classic incompetence excuse.
Yes.
Right. As if I'm stupid and as if I did not study for 9 eons.
Like, I don't see your jagged bangs that look like you cut them in a reflection pool.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Well, and as you know, in a reflection pool, whatever drops into the water spits back out at you. So many of them had fur and hair all along their back when they walked away. That is a true tell sign. I will always brush you off. I'm not going to let those the after fumes stick around with you.
No, after fumes.
Now, I can totally relate to this because my planet Glandar, which is the plastic surgery center of the universe, there was a period where people were trying to do their own plastic surgery. And they would come to the planet for us to try and fix their shoddy workmanship. And like you said, it just stands out completely. You can completely tell that eye was just pasted on, or, that limb was clearly sewn on haphazardly.
Yes.
Well, that was the bloodbath of '87, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
We studied that in school. I remember hearing all about it.
Yeah, it wasn't, I should say, it was lucrative for us. For the people who tried to do it themselves, it was,
It wasn't pretty.
no.
It was an unpretty time for Glandar.
Well, and that is why on balayage, I take you from being unpretty to pretty.
Well, as you know, unpretty is profitable.
Yes.
That's very fair, very fair.
If there weren't any unpretty, you'd be out of a job.
Well, that's true. You can't be pretty if unpretty doesn't exist. Then everything is the same, and we wouldn't want that, would we?
Not to make things awkward, but you may have noticed my beard is a bit jagged. I do sometimes trim it here at the booth without looking in a mirror, and so you may notice a jag. How much offense? I don't want to upset you, but how offensive is my beard to you in your professional eye?
Well, I'm going to be honest. My father, who, as I said, I didn't know well, but I know bits and pieces of him quite literally. He was a professional chef on the side. So if I'm being honest, I am less offended at the jaggedness of the beard, which is a style. So, it's a choice you've made. I'm a little more offended that you keep dipping the beard into your soup. That part is, at least where I come from, we would never do so. Maybe a mustache, but not a beard.
It is not intentional, but it does have benefits that later I still have some sustenance in my beard. It also holds crumbs in there so that if I might want to eat them later, it flavors them.
I mean, I suppose it's a good way to have soup on the go, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're very kind in your critique.
But I don't mind the jaggedness. I mean, we've done entire runway shows of jagged beards. The Jagged Beard show, actually, was a show that I coordinated and curated, and I found beards from all over the galaxy that no bodies attached to them, just beards.
No.
I suppose it would have been a disaster had there been any fans near the runway, just blown them right off.
Yeah, the only fans that we have are the giant one that leads into the rest of space. So that's the exit plan, certainly, but not the entrance.
Just imagining all this hair flying around.
We had so many beards and facial hair in general, even a few eyebrows that would reach out to us just asking how can we get involved more. And there will be a sequel at some point. I can't say when, because that is a future date that I'm not allowed to share with anyone. Once again, secrets.
Oh, a secret. Another secret.
A scoop for our audience.
Documentary sequel. So on the Hair Wars. And I've already said too much. So we'll.
That's quite that's enough. That's intriguing. That's enough for a trailer.
There we go.
That would a teaser trailer that would make me tune in. I would sit until time. I would sit there for hours and days, just waiting for it to come on.
It is well worth the years it might take you to sit in front of that television to do so. I think it is well worth.
Now, does everyone on Balayage work in the cosmetology industry, or do you all go out to do your work, or are people coming to you like they do on Glandar?
Well, it's a little bit of both, actually. So it is a planet full of all cosmetologists, definitely.
Yes.
It was formed for that specific reason, much like colonizers coming to other planets and killing off everyone that was there before so that we could do what we want to do. Isn't it so fun to be?
It's a standard thing, yes. How else will you set up shop somewhere unless you totally decimate the population and reform the terrain for your own uses?
What are you gonna do? Negotiate? Take other people's consideration? No.
That takes time.
Exactly.
And I don't have time. I do not have time.
No. You have important work to do. You can't be wasting time.
When you have a queue of people waiting outside for haircuts,
It's very true.
negotiation's just not one of those things you want to deal with.
That's true. Well, and pretty much any corner that you go is where you can go get an exoskeleton trim or a bob style scale cuts. You could do so many things all over the place, but there are a few of us ambassadors. Like I said, I'm the lead of the fourth quadrant, who travel all over the solar system doing shows and selling shears and volcanic meteor space rocks for other stylists. We do understand not everybody can fly to balayage, so we want to make sure that we are accessible, and no matter where you go, you can get that cute fringy bang look that's all the rage this light year.
Now you mentioned the bob. Here's a question. What were the possibilities of maybe my haircut maybe getting moved into circulation? The trellis. People start wanting the trellis.
Ooh. You mean instead of the bob, because it was named after the bob?
In addition to, or just on the head, the list of services, the trellis.
Well, the trellis, I feel like, is actually one of our more popular looks. I don't know if you knew it.
Did somebody steal my haircut?
Yeah, that's why I was so confused by your question.
Oh, it's already a thing. It's already marketed.
Who's stealing my hair?
I assumed that you were named after the haircut since your body is shaped like the actual haircut. No, you're not?
No.
How strange. What a small universe it is.
There are no coincidences, apparently.
Apparently
no.
not. All this time, I thought I was, the originator. Well, I am the originator. Who am I saying? And
Maybe you aren't. Maybe there's a time loop thing that you haven't considered, Trellis.
Yeah, there's nothing unique about you, Trellis.
Oh.
That's okay. That's what makes you unique.
Now, you may notice that he has mood skin, and this color now is I believe that's self-doubt.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
self-doubt? Would that be a fuchsia kind of?
I don't want to say.
Self-doubt is a very hard color to come by. It takes just the right formula, but it is extremely popular, and I get requests to use it and to make it all the time. So,
Fascinating.
yes.
It's an orangish, greenish blue.
Exactly.
As what color is your skin turning now, Trellis? What is?
Let me look.
What would you call that?
I'd call it self-pity. That's what I'm going to go with. Self-pity.
Self-pity. Yes, very good.
Which is a lot closer to, a lot of times when people try to do their own color at home, that is what they end up with.
This is where I end up with that. Yes.
Yes.
There's nothing more like home coloring than having your emotions show out through your skin.
Well, we're all an expression of ourselves, but the way we dress, the way we do our facials and our makeups and our hairs and our wires, all of that stuff is an expression of who we are, and it's important that we're able to put that out into the universe.
That is beautiful.
I've just decided to rebound. And how about we have mood hair?
Mood hair.
Trellis
Ooh.
2.0, it's mood hair.
Ooh, I love it. I tell you what, if you can just, I will make an exception for you. I am not taking new clients because I'm very overloaded, but if you can get yourself to balayage, I would be more than happy to take care of you.
I think we should go. I think you should go. I will accompany to watch this process.
Well, if you would like, Horatio, you can do his tattooing at the same time if you'd like.
Oh, I would love to do his tattooing.
I thought so. We always have one special guest who puts the permanent ink while I do my work, and it's sort of a way to just enhance the beauty.
Can I choose what markings I will put on it?
Well, I would expect nothing else.
Good. I have.
He doesn't get to choose his own.
Very good. Because I'm going to put in some very choice things.
I'm not sure I'm on board with Horatio picking my colors or designs.
Sorry, it's part of the deal.
Maybe you're not on board with balayage then, that's what we do at balayage.
If you're not on board with Horatio doing your tattoos, you're not on board with balayage.
There we go. That's actually our, that could be the name of our planet motto.
I think that would be wonderful. And then people would think, who is this Horatio?
They would.
And how can I get him to do my ink work?
I mean, not that they don't already know about you, because we do know about pretty much every creature everywhere. It's just a thing that we do, but...
Based on hairstyles?
Is it hairstyles? Do you have records of people's lives, files?
There's a special way known as fissure bubbling that we are able to, by just looking at the other person, are able to absorb their feelings and their memories, so we know all about them. That is why when you come to balayage, I can give you the precise style, the precise cut that you want, is because I know it before you even know it.
That is impressive.
That is lovely. It's much better, much more efficient than saying, here is a picture of a celebrity I want to look like, and then you make me look like the part of the celebrity I don't want to look like.
Because you're never going to look like that celebrity.
No.
Now, if you were to absorb that, could you tell us what food we'd like to eat too?
Oh, I mean, I could tell you pretty much just about everything. I know Horatio loves soup.
Yes, I love soup. I know you can tell there's a telltale signs in my beard.
I would have known that even without these abilities.
That was obvious by all the dripping.
Yes, all over the front of my outfit. Yes.
But Trellis, I know that you like things that are triangle shaped.
Ooh, she knows some of your deepest, darkest
Very
secrets.
true.
Trellis.
Yep. And I don't want to bring up bad feelings or anything.
No, go right ahead.
I don't like to talk about that a whole lot.
Go right ahead and bring up bad feelings. He needs to work through this.
It's just not easy to get through a childhood like you had and come out liking circles. No, of course you're not going to like circles. You like triangles.
Very logical.
Yeah.
It's the angularness of them, the sturdiness, the fact that all three angles add up to 180 degrees, which means you're always looking back behind you.
Exactly.
That's where the paranoia comes from.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
I didn't know if we'd ever get that out on the podcast, but Tresemmina has
I know this is an emotional moment for us here. We're absorbing. I'm enjoying watching him go through an emotional process
We like to keep things superficial normally.
You cannot sit with a stylist and not spill your guts, both physically and metaphorically. That is what happens when you sit in my chair, even if you're not technically sitting in my chair. It's a thing I can bring out in you. Yeah.
We are witnessing a master of their craft, is what I think.
Yes.
It is.
Well, and looking at the brochure in my mind, I'm seeing some examples of what we're talking about here, and it's a very clean environment.
This is a remarkable brochure, though, because I mean, it's obviously very engrossing, and I would imagine it's done wonders for bringing people in because they actually feel like they're there.
Well, being the youngest person to hold this ambassadorship, I wanted to bring in some new. Not new blood, although I do like my blood occasionally on the weekends, but
Of course.
it's just about this profession has been going on almost longer than any other profession in the universe, and so I thought, why not bring something fresh, bring new technology, and make it something that even the youngsters want to come in. This is not your mother's cosmetology cosmonaut shop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I assume it was more rigid in a time before, it seemed less exciting.
And you had to dress up to be super professional. I remember seeing beings come in full suits and in big hats as if they were going to church or something. And First of all, trying to fit a hat into the shop was tough enough, but how am I supposed to get to your hair otherwise? So I just
you can't.
You can't.
No.
And you can't cut through a hat. I mean, what am I?
Can you work around the hat somehow? Or is that just not done?
I mean, you can, but we've all seen the bowl cut. It's very
Yes.
similar. You
Yes.
you don't want that.
No.
There's no species that looks good on.
None.
Could there be a partnership between your worlds?
Oh,
I'm trying to broker something here.
I don't see why not.
I noticed. Yeah, I think it's a perfect combo to me. Now, you don't do work that stays. Did you do work that stays permanent? Because that could put me out of a job.
Everything could be reversed.
Okay.
But
okay.
If we put an arm on someone, it isn't going to eventually fall off, and we got to put a new arm on. Just like if you were to cut someone's hair, it grows back, and you got to cut it again. So the arm is there until the person consciously makes the decision to say, "I want to go back to my original number of arms."
Right. Okay. I mean, honestly, as long as you're not doing anything permanent when it comes to the scales or the hair or the tentacles, then it's fine. I don't want to put myself out of a job.
No.
Are you worried I'm horning in on your business?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying there is space for the permanent, and there's space for a once a quarter trim.
I totally agree.
Yes.
I didn't mean to cause a disturbance or a kerfuffle between you, or any tension.
I think it's a great opportunity. I think there's a good chance that we could, again, as the youngest ambassador in this position, I'm always up for bringing out new ideas and revitalizing things. I don't think we should ever just stay the way it's always been in the past. I think we should innovate.
Yes, very, very wise, very wise.
I want you to think of me as your best friend and that you can trust me. And that won't happen if I spill the beans too much. But
No, that's very true. I
And
tend
at the very least,
Yeah.
you're not going to be naming names, at least.
No.
Stories are
to
fine.
maybe
You just won't.
general anecdotes probably, I'm sure, are fine. Yes.
Well, for example, there was the time that there was a young nun from the planet of Zerwip, and she just started breastfeeding her kindlings right there in the middle of the shop, and it was quite surprising because.
Sounds like Sister Mary Gargantuan.
Okay, well, I think we both know the same species, and I will keep my.
Some stories spread on their own.
I just wanted to point out that was not so general, and I was able to figure it out in about 2 seconds.
It's a very good point, Trellis.
Well, maybe the audience wouldn't have if you had not said the name.
Very good point.
I will not confirm nor deny the rumors, is all I'm saying.
Trellis, I think you're being naughty.
No.
Are you not naughty?
Well, what color's my skin right now?
Naughty. Looks like imp
Okay.
colored.
Well, then, well, then you caught me. You caught me.
It'll always come out. It will always come out. You can't hide that. You cannot hide
I cannot.
No.
I'm unfortunately an open-skinned book.
He is. You can tell exactly what he's thinking. Well, maybe not exactly what he's thinking, what he's feeling.
Yes.
Feeling.
I'm taking all this in. This has been one of the most fascinating interviews.
Oh.
Horatio, are you making?
What?
I was gonna say, Horatio, are you writing down what you want to get from the brochure?
Actually, I can just check off things in my mind. I don't have to write anything down.
That's even more convenient.
Yeah, the old regime wanted us to have pencils and paper and pens, and I was like, no, we can check it off. And they just thought, oh, I don't use checkoffs. I don't subscribe to that. But it's like, this is new technology. We should encourage it. But fortunately, we broke through that, and as you're seeing, our clientele loves the experience. You're loving that tunnel, aren't you?
Making the check marks is delightful because as soon as you virtually touch this lovely scent emerges, just floats around.
Yes, I created that myself, by the way.
That is lovely. It is wonderful.
Thank you.
It makes me just want to check off all the options.
Well, it's a little bit of an upsell there. Look at that trick. There's a business trick for you.
It is. Also, I should probably check my bank account.
We've already done that for you, so don't worry.
Oh, I'm approved.
I was gonna say that is why Trellis does not have access. Yes.
Ah, that makes sense. Yes, he is always borrowing money from me.
Well, that's why he doesn't get the brochure.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. I believe it is about time to work on the entry that we're going to make in order to pay for all our lovely food and beverages here. Which, by the way, I wanted to make sure that our guests feel free to try any of the food on the table or beverages.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. And what do you have any thoughts on what our entry should be, Trellis?
Balayage.
I like.
Go ahead.
What is that?
Well,
now, everyone.
You just
is
asked
one.
me, and then you interrupted me with your thoughts. So apparently, you have something far superior than what I was going to think of.
Well, yes, of course I do, generally, but I like to hear your input so I know how much better mine is. Everyone is one.
I was thinking balayage. Somebody stole my haircut.
That's a good one too. That's a good. What do you think, Tresemmina?
I mean, I definitely think we should be mentioning balayage just because I was told that by being on this program that would be a little bit of a highlight to my planet. So
Very true.
Highlight, get it? Because of
Yes.
hairstyling.
I like to somehow work in about the hair, fur, feathers, scales, exoskeleton, and tentacles.
That's right.
I just want to work something in there to make sure that people know that they can have any work done on that.
Good point.
I've trained in all the areas, and so I want to make sure they know they can see me for anything.
How about balayage? We've got you covered.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, good. Let's go with that.
I
That's
like
a good
it.
one.
I like
I
it.
need to type. I'll type that in.
I'm typing that in. No, I'll type it in. I got it.
You're typing it in.
Balayage.
I'm gonna try this soon.
All your beauty needs.
You should try this
covered
one,
from
yeah.
tentacles to exoskeletons, and enter. Very good.
Very good. We have that, and we're
I
going
made like
to enjoy.
a suicide soup slushy, so I had all
Yes.
three of them together. It was very
That's
good.
the best way to do it. I find just combine it all. It's all going to the same place, unless you
Little
have
bit of
multiple
beard.
stomachs.
Little bit of
Little
beard
beard.
hair in it, but not bad. I like the texture. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good. Well, the beard hair, that's some fiber.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us for Hitchhikers and Appetizers. And of course, special thanks goes to our guest, Tresemmina. I have been Trellis Gardeen.
And I continue to be Horatio Zinn. Until next time, keep your towels clean. And if you're planning on doing some woodworking, buy Grabthar's hammer at your nearest Lowe's or Home Depot. What a savings. So don't panic.
Everything you heard in this episode was improvised, but not everything improvised was heard.
This episode of Hitchhikers and Appetizers featured the voice talents of Mike Gorgone as Trellis Gardeen, Bran Peacock as Horatio Zinn, and Monique Madrid as Tresemmina.
Finally, Hitchhikers and Appetizers is part of the Improv in Action Network. Check out other great improvised podcasts and projects at improvinaction.com. If you'd like to reach out to Trellis or Horatio, you can send electronic messages to them at our Galaxy address, hitchappspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find them on Twitter with the handle hitchapps.
Shut up and sit down.